stop speaking French until you have watched this video. And why I'm saying that? Because few months back, I was also in the same shoe, anxious, frustrated, and was not able to find the right path. So hi everyone, I'm Aishwarya, and today I will share some strategies that I followed to achieve a C1 level score in the TEF Canada exam. But before that, I would also like to give you a point of view. Why? Because these days I have seen lot of content creators or the French teachers are putting content related to how to improve French speaking. But no one is fairly close enough to an approach that can really help someone to uplift his or her speaking skills. And why so? First of all, I noticed these instructors have merely or barely crossed that CLB 7 border, and then they're right in front of you giving you instructions. Things don't work like that. Scoring bare minimum marks does not guarantee that their tricks or their strategies are really helpful enough to go and crack this exam. It could be by matter of luck they encountered an easier question and hence they were able to score a borderline score. And sometimes I've seen these instructors appear in the exam like TEFAQ, and in which you're just bound to give speaking and listening, and that too is allowed to be given in parts. So how we can actually believe that they are telling you is the truth? So today I thought, let me share my strategies, my methods that really helped me to enhance my score from A2 level to up to C1 level. Right? And if you are really interested in knowing these strategies, do watch this video till the end and like, subscribe, and share it with all your friends. So let's get started. First of all, I have seen that there's a new technique in the market that says start recording yourself. Oh, okay, we can record yourself. Completely fine. After that, what to do with that? Oh, so you meant I have to start correcting myself? Are you serious? If I would know what is the correction, I would not even make the mistake at the first place, right? Got it. If you want me to use any tool, any AI, I can do that. But tell me, how much time does it consume, right? We don't have 8 hours to sit and just study French. No one has that much liberty, and that too just for the speaking section. So can you tell me how this strategy can actually help anyone, right? So what is the correct way to improve your speaking? Now I'll go step by step. I'll tell you the most practical approach. These steps or these methods have helped me personally, also are helping my students. So if you're someone at A1 and A2 level and really had that zeal to go and start speaking in French, right? So I can understand that sometimes lack of vocabulary or some grammar constructs just holds you back, right? You feel that stiffness when you speak in French. So I would recommend start using Pimsleur. It's an amazing application, or I would say an amazing French learning application. In this, all you have to do is to repeat after the person who is speaking in it, and you can readily do it on your jobs. Just have your AirPods in whenever you have time and start repeating after that person. That will definitely help you with the pronunciation and get acquainted with the most simple conversational skills. That's amazing, right? At A1 and A2 level. And now once you have leveled up to like B1 level, it's time that you start actually speaking in French. But I'm pretty sure recording technique still does not work here. Why? Because I have the vocabulary, I have the grammar, but still at this stage I have seen 8 out of 10 students just do the literal translations. All they do is think a sentence in English language and then finally say it in French. For example, if I give you a simplest sentence, I am eating a pizza, you will translate it as, I know most of you would have done je suis manger une pizza, right? This was your first go, but it's wrong. The correct would be je mange une pizza. And this is how you make those mistakes. And listen, if you really start recording yourself and start correcting yourself in this manner, you're gonna spend hours and hours of time. And probably, okay, for the first sentence you can make sure, okay, don't do the literal translation. Then comes the second, then comes the third, fourth, and so on. I'm pretty sure after 10 sentences you'll be exhausted with your mistakes. Yes, we can definitely learn from mistakes, but how much you gonna remember? If for the first sentence I can remember, don't do the literal translation, what about the next sentence? And how much time do I really have? I really suggest at B1 level, stop putting so much pressure on you. You have to walk a very long journey, and if you want to concentrate all your energy in just trying those petty things, it's not going to be fruitful. So today I'll tell you an efficient strategy, an efficient plan that will definitely uplift your level. So what is it? It is called as shadowing. In shadowing, all you have to do is to repeat after someone. Yes, the same thing that you were doing with Pimsleur, but now you are doing it with someone more rapid and who speaks more complex sentences. For example, I started my shadowing technique with Inner French podcast. I visited their website, played their podcast, and always opened their transcript right in front of me and started repeating after Hugo. Yes, at first it was very difficult for me to keep up at that pace and even to comprehend a lot of things. But still, slowly and steadily, I matched his pace. I even improved my pronunciation. And so you are gonna do it. And then once I was able to match his pronunciation as well as his pace and started to form those complex sentences, I started summarizing that podcast in the French language. And I realized I became slightly more fluent in French language, and that too naturally. With around about 10 days into the shadowing technique, I was able to make those sentences, and that was amazing. That feeling of speaking your thought in French language without translating just gave me that energy and that boost that was extremely important at that stage. So trust me, shadowing technique, even done for 30 minutes in a day, would give you better results than any other technique that you might be doing right now. After, even if you don't believe me, just do it for the first 7 days straight. And do write down your comment below that how you actually felt after that 7th day. Right? I would love to read it. Now you have again spent around about a month with the shadowing technique and summarizing your thoughts in the French language. Now it's time to build more on it. So how to build on it? I always suggest that you should not be worried about ordering a coffee or able to talk to someone on the street, because your motive is to first ace this TEF Canada exam. So you should work towards it and rather going in the vast ocean of this French language. At B1 intermediate level, you are somewhere B1 and B2. It is high time that you start practicing, and even before that, understanding the exam format. That is crucial step. If you are acquainted with the exam format and you know what type of questions follow, how the examiner is going to evaluate you, you will prepare accordingly. Because I've seen most of the instructors give the information that it's just a normal conversation. No, it's not. Why? Because that examiner is not your actual friend. And even he's not there to get convinced or talk to you. He is just there to evaluate your French language skills. So how you can take it so casually? Yes, the conversation is casual, but it does not mean you go at ease and you dance along and say whatever you feel like. No, you really have to speak something that is CLB 7, that is equivalent to a native or slightly below that, right? When you were at B1 or B2 level, it's high time you understand the exam format, you start building your answers, you start creating those answers that you would actually tell to someone if someone gives you a particular reason. But it does not stop here. You also have to have that contextual vocabulary. If you don't have the contextual vocabulary, you will struggle a lot. And I don't mean that you go and start learning 5 fruits or you start learning 5 animals. That's not required in the exam. You have to be very smart, right? You have to build your vocabulary as per the exam requirements rather than these casual vocabularies that have been flooded these days on internet. I hope you understood that it is very important to be practical in this exam preparation strategies. And we at Crystal Prep prepare each and every student with the practical approach. We modify these approaches so that the student adapt it and feels comfortable with it and finally get the result that he or she desires for. And if you also are looking for such type of help, you can reach out to me at www.crystalprep.com, or other contact information is listed down below in the description box. And I wish you all the best for this journey and hope you ace this exam with your desired scores. Till then, merci and au revoir.